You're listening to Rabbi Aryeh Wolbe, Director of Torch, the Torah Outreach Resource Center of Houston. This is the Jewish Inspiration Podcast.
And now we are going to resume day number 85 in the ways of the righteous, the gates of envy. Page 507 on top. Treasure for Life edition, of course. Hamekane chomes nafsho. Someone who is envious robs himself. You're robbing from yourself. You're stealing from yourself. Yehu misabel tamid. He's always downtrodden. He's always downcast. He's always sad. V'sichlo mischase mirov kino hatmuna b'kirbo. His intellect is depleted because of the great envy buried within him. Ve'ein libo panu lilmod v'lispalul bekavana v'lasos masim tovim. And his heart is not free to study and pray with concentration and to do good deeds. Kol odom motze tam ore v'ma'acholo chutz min hamikane. All people find great, delicious flavor in their food, except for someone who's jealous. Someone who's jealous, his food doesn't taste good. Why? There's no flavor in life. You're stealing from yourself. She'eino to'am tam tova ma'acholo ad shetosur hatova mechavero. He's not going to be happy. Nothing's going to taste good. Nothing's going to feel good till the good departs from his friend. L'chol sino yesh tikva. For all hatred, there is hope. She'im yisna chavero avur shigzalo tosor hasino k'sheyashiv lo osadavar. If your friend hates you because you stole something, as soon as you return that object that was stolen, there's no more hatred. V'chein kol sina hatluya b'davar acher k'sheyitukan hadavar hahut is batal hasina. You know, it's like today we're seeing in front of our eyes an example of this, that when there's a hatred because you steal something, because you're being unjust, when you resolve that unjust behavior, suddenly there's understanding, there's acceptance. It's almost like what we're seeing with this standoff with the United States and Canada and Mexico, where suddenly, like first it's like shock and hate, I can't believe it. But then they realize, 1 second, we've been cheating the system perhaps, we haven't been doing our proper due responsibility to protect the border, etc., etc. Suddenly they start doing it. And suddenly there's no more hatred, there's no more anger. It's an amazing thing. As soon as this particular matter is resolved, there's no more grievances. Amar chacham livnoi al tekane be'achicha al asher yeshlo kihu yinam b'chayav ve'ato tispa de'ogo v'tzar. A very, very wise man once said to his son, do not envy your brother for what he has, for his life will be pleasant and you will be filled with worry and grief. Who suffers when you're jealous? Only you. Only you. It's not that your friend is living a great life. It's that in your eyes, when you're jealous, you think everything everybody else has is better than yours. In your mind, you set this idea, oh, they're just so successful. They have no problems in their marriage. They have no problems with their kids. They have no problems buying whatever house they want. They have no problems in their job. What happens? We don't know what's going on with them. It doesn't really matter what's going on with them. But when we don't feel fulfilled within, then we're looking out. Ki harbe bnei adam gormim sheyiskanu bahem kishem lovshim b'gadim noim ve'enam min mehanim acherim mishalahem oz hem gorim sheyiskanu bahem. He says there are many people who cause jealousy in others. Sorry, I think I skipped again. Ve'ata Tisba de ogabatzar. Ve'amar hachacham lo nivra mikane ve'achomed elo lichaas. The envier and desirer, the person who desires, were created only for anger. The only result of someone who's envious, who's jealous, the only result is anger. The early sages would pray, Shelo tehe kinosenu al acher v'lo kinas acher malenu. That we should not be jealous of others, and others shouldn't be jealous of us. This is part of our prayer in the Sephard, in the Nusach Sfard Siddur. I'll pull it up right here. Nusach Sfard is the Sephardic dialect of prayer. So they say the following, right at the end of the Amidah, right before they say, Oseh Shalom Bimromav, they say the following. May it be your will, Hashem, God of my forefathers and my God, that others' jealousy should not come upon me, and I shouldn't be jealous of others. That means I shouldn't be the reason that other people are jealous. People shouldn't look at me and be jealous. I don't want to be the pitfall. You know, there's a verse in the Torah that says, he's going to bring it right over here. Okay? It says, Lifnei iver lo sitein michshol. You shall not place a stumbling block before the blind. When we cause other people to be jealous, we're putting a stumbling block in front of the blind. But they can see. They're blind to this matter. They're blind to this matter. Why is this the thing they're praying about? That others shouldn't be jealous of me. Maybe others shouldn't hurt me. Others shouldn't steal from me. No, that's not part of the prayer. That others shouldn't be jealous of me. This is the way to understand this. Many people cause others to be jealous of them. They wear very fancy clothes, and they don't avail others of, they don't share what they have with others. They're causing other people to be jealous of them. Therefore, they would pray They would pray for others. Maybe they are causing others to be jealous. That Torah Amar, and the Torah already told us in Leviticus 19, verse 14, you shall not place a stumbling block in front of the blind. Therefore, it is a good trait for a person not to wear too fancy of clothes. Not him, not his wife. And not his children. And not to have too much of fancy food, fancy wines, fancy scotch and bourbon. Don't be too fancy. Don't drive fancy cars. That nobody should be jealous as a result. But someone who is blessed by the Almighty with tremendous wealth, don't make yourself fancy and exclusive. On the contrary, let other people enjoy. When you let's say the fancy guy has a ton of money, has a beautiful pool in his backyard, let other people use it. Share it with others. You know, I remember listening to a lecture many years ago. Someone was talking about happiness. He says, nobody needs to see your family photos when you took your whole family to Disneyland. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see it. You're just making other people jealous. You're making their lives miserable. You went on a cruise, good for you. Keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know. Do you want the responsibility of someone getting into debt because they're jealous of the cruise that you took? Because they're jealous of the vacation you had? They're jealous of the food you eat or the wine you drink? Be private. Nobody needs to know. Don't be the reason someone else does terrible things because they saw something from you on your Facebook status, your Facebook post, or your Twitter post. Oh, he's vacationing. I also have to start vacationing. But you can't afford it. It's okay. I'll cheat, lie, and steal. And borrow. And have no way to pay it back. Terrible thing. So not only you, but your wife, your children, make sure that they don't do things that cause others to become jealous. That other people should not become jealous of you. He says, the key, if you are very wealthy, share it with others. Poor people, like wealthy people, let them enjoy from what you have. Be pleasant with other people. Be uptight. Oh, don't go into my kitchen. You can't touch my fancy dishes. You can't, no, share it. Fine. Nachas. With pleasantness. Chesed. And do kindness with them. We already mentioned how important it is for a person to be beloved to others and by others. And when a person is beloved by all mankind, then people are not jealous, and people are not envious, and people don't desire what you have, Mishalom. But rather, it is proper for one to ascend to the highest virtue of all, and that which brings glory to him, and others will aspire to emulate him. Be virtuous, be great, be elevated higher, not in a physical, materialistic way, but in a spiritual way. Hide your success. Ein gufo kole ela toloim sholt ela hatoloim sholtem bo. And one who guards himself against envy, his body does not. Ein gufo kole. His body does not disintegrate, and worms have no power over him, as it is written, and the rottenness of the bones is envy. So someone who's jealous, that's the result. But someone who helps others not be jealous, doesn't stick out, doesn't show off, doesn't make other people jealous, such a person who brings no envy to others will be protected from the disintegration and the worms of our afterlife. Okay, after we pass away from this world. One who has envy in his heart, his bones will rot. Kol mi sheyesh lo kina belibo atzmosav markivin. Kol she'ein lo kina belibo ein atzmosav markivin. Anyone whose heart is free of envy, of jealousy, his bones will not rot. Lochein, that's the Talmud says that. Tractate Shabbat. Lochein yisrachik adam min akino umin achemdo velo yachmod shum davar mima shebiyad acherem. Therefore, one should keep himself far from envy and desire, and not desire anything possessed by others. And a person should not say, I can desire what my friend has and give him money for it. I desire what he has, and I'll pay for it. I see he has a nice watch, I'll just buy his watch. I see he has a nice car, I'll just buy his car. It's jealousy, not allowed to do that. Right? It's a biblical sin, by the way. I'll be jealous. Because if you desire to buy what he has, and what's if he doesn't want to sell it? He doesn't want to make you feel bad. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to embarrass you. So what's going to be? He's going to sell it even though he doesn't want to. You're pressuring him to sell it. He doesn't want to let you down. Im kain havi kamo ones. This is very, very similar to someone being forced to do something against their will. L'chein v'chein v'chol shekein. Im zeh chomed ish nechbad. If the person who's jealous is a prominent person, a distinguished person, she'im yishal she'elo, he's going to ask his friend, or ponov lo yapilun, she'osu lishol mechaver ma biyado, mikach o matana, im einu yodea sheyitin lo b'nefesh chavetza. You're not allowed to request something that they can't refuse. Right? So it's especially forbidden for a distinguished person whose request will certainly not be refused to solicit a purchase or a gift from his neighbor if he is not certain that it will be given wholeheartedly. You know that they're going to give it. They feel bad, so they're giving it. You're coercing them to do something they really don't want to do. It says mashal, a parable to this is chomed umikanai holchu yachta baderech. A king once met a desire and an envier walking together on the road and said to them, "Let one of you ask for something and it will be given to you, and the other will get twice as much." All right? Paga by melech echad amar lehem amelech echad mikem yishal davar mimeni v'yinasin lo. He's going to get exactly one. V'chavero yiflayim. His friend will get double. So the jealous one, lo ratza lishol tchila. The jealous one didn't want to ask first. Akanai lo ratza lishol tchila. Shahoya miskane im yinasin lechavero kif b'chiflayim. Because whatever I'm going to ask for $10 million. My friend is now going to get $20 million. Can't do that. Can't let that happen. The other guy who is jealous, he is dealing with a different problem. He wants both of them. He wants what he's going to get and what his friend is going to get. Finally, the envier asked first, he says, here's my request. I want you to poke out one of my eyes. This is what he tells the king. So that both eyes will be taken out of the other guy. This is a terrible thing. Right? You had the opportunity to ask anything you wanted. Only thing it hurts you to see your friend succeed. It hurts you. It's a terrible, terrible downfall for man when we have this terrible trait of jealousy.
You've been listening to Rabbi Aryeh Wolbe on a podcast produced by Torch, the Torah Outreach Resource Center of Houston. Please help sponsor an episode so we can continue to produce more quality Jewish content for our listeners around the globe. Please visit torchweb.org to donate and partner with us on this incredible endeavor.